This is Peter Mack from Templar Studios presenting Ghost Warrior. I tried to draw that as much as possible.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Hi. There is no photography in this game, but there's giant hairy guys with axes that try to kill you. So hopefully that makes up for it. This is a game that we made for 20th Century Fox. They have a movie coming out someday, soon, they say, which is based on a Finnish film that was remade by Hollywood and is about Vikings arriving on the American shores and encountering Native Americans, which to us, when they presented it to us as a project, was very exciting because it had a very interesting theme, which is the idea of these two cultures clashing, of the kinds of things that give us an opportunity to explore issues and things that we face in our world today. The clash of cultures, what happens when you have even different technologies encountering one another. However, when we read the script to the film, we got to the scene where he snowboards on a shield down a mountain. So rather than going with a kind of, Last of the Mohicans, the mission kind of thoughtfulness, I think it's a little more violent than that. The Fox film, it's Fox after all, so. Nonetheless, we kept to our ideal with it. Unfortunately for us, they pretty much stayed out of our hair. The film's release got pushed back a bunch of times, so we were able to make less and less money on it as we continued to work. One of the, and it's still not released. We could actually go home tonight and get back to work on it, but I think we're probably good. I don't know, Nick, what do you think? No, we're good. We'll stop. In fact, we actually started off with a, I'm going to go into the game just so you guys have something to look at while I'm blabbing. By the way, this game's really hard. So I'm totally going to die, and I'm sorry. But we'll get back to it in a minute. Well, one of the things that we tried to do, that we wanted to do, we realized after, and this happens I'm sure to a lot of people, which is that there's no way you can explain how to play your game unless you do a live tutorial in-game. So we really held people's hands at the beginning, which is something that we don't usually get the opportunity to do, but is usually very useful when we do. So I'm going to use the WASD keys to run fast. We're getting a good idea of, and he likes that. So the game starts off this way. You don't have the option of having to not read something on how to play, which we make people go through this every time. You can escape through these things, but for the first-time user, of course, we do this. Now, you will notice there is not a lot of, well, the video is doing something strange. Gordon Klemus is our art director. He is a genius most of the time, except when I tell him when he's supposed to be somewhere. Maybe you know people like this. He had a very clear idea about what his visual look for the game was going to be, which was a very Eastern, very washed out, very colorless look and feel for the game, with the exception, you will notice there is a reddish color in the middle. And we get more of that later. But he wanted that to pop out a little bit and really have a feel like you see in some Japanese prints and some Korean prints and artwork that he studied for this game, to have this kind of quality. So it's very actually, the palette is a very washed out palette. We did not get a lot of materials from the client, from Fox at all, I don't think. Did you see any? No, I didn't see it. We had a few photographs of production stills. What they had wanted us to do was present a game that really communicated a lot of the story in the world of the film. We did not have a lot of visual reference. We did not have a lot of story reference beyond the script. So, see, you thought the blood was from people, didn't you? It's not. It's someone was hunting something. Well, and I will point out as well that when we started the game, we had the idea of mimicking the story of the film, in which the main character, who is looking for revenge, goes in and kills everybody. But in doing that, we were basically looking for something that communicated what to us was the story and the theme of the film, which was very bleak and very wintry and very desolate, and lonely. And so, still, yeah, you got it in there, didn't you? The thunder. It's still a little quiet, but it's a lonely kind of game. The only people you meet are either dead or trying to make you dead. So this is not a happy place. And in some cases, the dead people that you find are generally your friends. This was actually not in the original version that we developed. Once we found out the film was going to be delayed, the game we made kind of sucked originally, right? We made a really bad game, and it had a great idea, which was to make use of sneakers and stealth and sneaking through woods. And you will notice footprints